Welcome to the What You Gonna Want to Do podcast. I'm Kevin. Down on the end,
Scott Weaver. That was for my buddy there on the
I'm Caleb.
and this lovely lady is
Kim.
Hey.
and our unpaid intern,
Unpaid.
editor.
Hey.
He's not an intern.
No,
He's running the show.
He runs the show.
The unpaid, unhappy showrunner / producer.
director,
Hey.
soundman.
If I had to pick two people who didn't want to be here, he'd be one of them.
He'd be one of two people.
We'll figure out who the other one is as we go along.
Yeah.
The other one. Yeah.
My guess is she shares the same last name.
We are going to move along tonight with our March music madness.
Hey, you didn't say
Got it
musical
right
this time.
And even though it's April.
Next time we're doing music.
March Madness always ends in
Next
April
time
anyway,
we're
so
musical.
we're right on
March
track.
musical.
Is it over now?
No.
Oh.
It might be over by the time this airs.
No. Yeah. Maybe.
Wasn't those finals
be.
great?
Weren't they? And I can't believe the team that won.
I know.
Or I expected it the whole time.
I know. And can you believe that they lost?
The other team.
The one that didn't, they blew out in the final
that
four.
was.
I can't believe that I didn't watch a single game
Yeah.
of any of it.
Yeah.
Well, we're down to our Sweet 16.
We are.
All right.
Woohoo!
And we're a little more official this week. Everyone's got a little
Yeah, we got a bracket.
bracket in front
And we
of
all
them.
got one ahead of time, too.
All right. We're going to start off with our 2001 to 2015 bracket.
All right.
And we're going to start off with the number 10 versus the number 3. We have Yeah. Is that right, Caleb?
Yeah.
You say it for us?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
Going against Adele's Rolling in the Deep,
Yeah.
the 3 seed.
We see. Yeah.
And who do you guys got moving on in this one? Who's your winner?
Hoosier.
Who's your winner?
Mom's going to pick Rolling in the Deep.
I'm also going to pick Rolling
I
in the
picked
Deep.
Rolling in the Deep.
Who are you going with, Caleb?
I like Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a big Adele fan.
I'm a huge Adele fan.
I'm going with Rolling in the Deep. Si, who would you have picked?
I would have gone with Rolling in the Deep.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Rolling in the Deep
guess
is
it's
rolling
rolling.
on.
I guess I'm
Rolling
the
in the
only one
Deep.
with any integrity.
Into our first team
I'm not
jumps into the Elite 8.
Because I don't know. Yeah.
Moving up,
See.
You
we have
wouldn't
the
like it
number
anyways.
1 seed, Happy,
It's not your speed.
taking on Hey Ya by... I know this. I really enjoyed this song a lot. Who is it?
No, let's let it.
Oh, we
Marinate.
can't have dead air.
Yeah, we can.
We're going to start...
They call this a pregnant pause.
We're hoping to just have an audio version of this uploaded before long.
Yeah.
So we can't have a lot of dead air.
But there's a lot of comedy in Dead Air.
I know with Andre 3000,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
he
got
was
it.
part of a group.
he was part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the main guy.
Yeah.
Part of there were two different people. I don't think you can. They were a group.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just blanking.
I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Two Live Crew
Thank you,
Or-
Scott.
It wasn't. You're right.
or De La Soul.
Yep. Scott's on something there.
That's got
Yeah.
something.
Outcast.
Outcast.
Hey.
We got there.
That was rough. So, Hey Ya or Happy? Who you going with?
Clearly, I went with
Hey.
Hey Ya.
Who would you go with, Scott?
I went with
Hey, yeah.
Hey,
I picked Happy.
oh, did
Did you really?
Yeah.
It was tough. Close,
It's a better song.
We listened to that song a lot at work.
Well,
It's not a.
I'm going with-
You're not.
I'm going with
Hey,
Ya.
You're a sucker.
I don't mind.
Si, who
I
would
don't
you have
mind
picked?
It was tough for me. It was.
Hey Ya.
It's well produced.
Yeah, it's not bad though.
So Hey Ya moves on to the Elite Eight
All right,
as well,
so I
with
am
an
not doing
exclamation mark.
Oh.
Going back in time.
I should have studied more.
All of this is going back in time.
I know. We just
That's
continually
true.
move
Oh,
back.
okay. All
We
right.
just continually move back.
Going even further back,
1986
We gotta get
to 2000.
Oh my, that's a big.
Those were the best years of my life.
December 69.
Oh. I didn't live it during that time either.
We have a 6 and 7
Actually, I
matchup.
didn't either.
We're starting off with here.
Oh, okay.
We have Faith with George Michael and Walk Like an Egyptian with the Bengals.
Oh.
It should be Faith.
I mean, you got
There's no
Susanna
reason you would
Hoff
pick the other one.
I thought we already had
with those-
decided on this one.
No,
Oh.
I guess it would be nice.
Susanna Hoff with that eye look thing she did.
Dad, quit being weird.
I mean, it's just
George Michael
melts
with
your
those
heart.
sunglasses.
Oh,
I don't have anything to say, really.
with those denim pants.
yeah.
I'm just going purely based off the song because that's what we were supposed to be doing.
And
FYI, George Michael is no Andrew Ridgeley.
I don't even know
he's
who
not.
Andrew Ridgeley is.
He's the most important guy
The
of
chewing gum
Wham.
guy.
Oh, is that what was his solo career like?
that's Wrigley.
Oh,
He
Does he appear two times on this list?
no, but
No,
he
that's
chose
what I
to step
thought.
out of the limelight
He never got in it.
and be a racer.
I think he made
He's a
it
race
once
car
on.
driver.
He was a racist?
He made it once on.
I
Race
think he came
car
back
driver.
as
Oh,
Karl
Karl Marx?
No, the other Marx.
Richard Marx?
Richard Marx.
No.
Isn't that
wow.
Andrew
He was a
Ridgeley?
Marx?
No.
He's one of the Marx
He
brothers?
looked like him. Oh, yeah, he was that.
Andrew
too.
Ridgeley is
was.
quite a handsome fellow. Still.
He was Zippo.
So who are you moving on, Scott?
I've got. Oh, Faith.
Faith.
You gotta have it.
Faith, and I would
And I'm-
also take Faith.
Wow. Even though you were just fighting for
I wasn't fighting. I was just
Susanna.
making-
Nah, he was just. I was just giving you a little.
Silas, what would you have taken?
so why would I not pick Faith?
Thank you.
Why
Superior
would I
song.
not pick Faith?
I think the question we need to ask ourselves is why was Walk Like an Egyptian still there in the Sweet 16?
It wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
Because your dad and
I understand.
But I-
Let's not linger
the
on
eye
it.
roll.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about this kind.
All right.
Oh
Going
boy.
up
That's
with
what I mean.
We've got a 1-12 matchup with I Want to Dance with Somebody
Oh,
Who Loves Me
I've got.
by Whitney Houston.
Hold on, I want to dance with
And
somebody.
hold on.
Wait.
I want to
That's-
dance with somebody.
Scott doesn't. He didn't feel. He said it's a push.
By Wilson Phillips.
I
12
refuse.
song.
Scott will abstain. I put "Want to Dance with Somebody" because it's the better song.
Taylor
of the
wants
two.
to
Yeah.
dance with somebody.
I
Not
also
really. I'm
chose
not a
it.
dancer.
Hold
I
on.
can't
I'm
dance.
not a dancer.
Hold on.
Oh, hold on. Somebody
hold
put
on.
hold on. All right.
Scott abstained.
Scott abstained, so.
He doesn't. He's
Oh.
got nothing.
Sorry, what would you take?
Okay.
Whitney, baby.
But if this were my own personal bracket, it would be Believe by Cher.
Oh.
Oh. That's
Oh.
right. He did go for that.
I'm
You
just.
went with the voco.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not
Auto
Scott's
tune.
personal
The
bracket.
auto tune.
the auto tune song.
All right.
Good one.
Want to dance with
Si.
somebody.
All right.
Joins the Elite Eight.
So which one's next?
So that moves us up
Okay.
All right.
to back to 1970, folks.
Hey.
We're going with
It's only three.
the number
years old.
3, Betty Davis Eyes,
I like
taking
that.
on the number 10 song, Prince, When Doves Cry.
What?
What?
Oh yeah. Yep. You're right. Down here.
Oh shoot! Tag. What happened?
Scott's
Did
got
I-
everybody.
I've missed
Did I
this.
mess
Everybody wants to rule the
No.
world.
What are you doing, Weaver?
God, that's not even on the list.
I don't know what I'm
You
doing.
lunatic.
No, you got that. You got that.
Take on me.
Ooh.
It's not in there.
No. Dang on it.
What are you taking, Kimberly?
I'm going with Prince all the way, man.
When Doves Cry?
Crap on a crapper.
I also have When Doves Cry.
Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, me as well. Silas,
Got it. You gotta have it.
at the buzzer, he takes When Doves
At the
Cry.
buzzer. He's at the buzzer.
So they're jumping in. A number 10 seed made it all the way to the Elite 8 so far.
Watch
Now
out.
we've
Real
got the
Cinderella
number
story.
1 taking on the 5, Careless Whisper.
Oh,
And Careless Whisper is Wham, correct?
that is Wham.
Oh,
They're taking on the Police, Every Breath You Take.
Is it Wham or is it just? I think it's just George.
it's
Michael.
just
I've
George.
seen it credited to
Oh, both. Oh,
They're unsure.
all right.
I think it's just George.
Is it
I
just
think
him?
it was in that little gray area when they were.
Oh, okay.
I know what I went with.
I like that. I know what I went with.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody can tell me.
I went Careless Whisper.
Careless Whisper.
Scott.
No, not Careless Whisper.
Every Breath You Take.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like.
I too. This one's going into overtime.
Uh-oh, sigh. Careless Whisper or Every Breath You Take.
Careless Whisper.
Oh, geez,
I like it at least.
I gotta take that. I just deposited that money into his account too.
It's coming back.
I'm surprised you didn't take it out after my share comment.
Oh, well. I will give her the pioneering spirit of being one of the first to use auto-tune in a pop song.
So that takes us to the final
One
bracket.
of them.
Yeah.
Yep. There.
The game's being played in Miami, I think. We've got the number 11 and a 10 seed
Oh,
in the Sweet 16.
Where am I at?
We have California Dreaming by the Mamas and the Papas taking on Mac the Knife
Mac
by
the
Bobby
Knife.
Darin. Two great songs.
But clearly, there can only be one.
There
yeah.
can only be one winner at the end of the day.
I went. I'm sorry, Mac the Knife. I love it, but I think this is where it met its match.
I agree.
California Dreaming.
California Dreaming all the way.
California Dream.
California Dreaming.
It's such a winner's day.
Sigh. California Dreaming moves on.
Now, Dad, you would have taken Mac the Knife. You said.
No, I would have taken California Dreaming. I love Mac the Knife.
I do.
Don't
I
get me
think
wrong.
It's a cool song.
Yeah, it's quality.
But I think you got to go with that at this
Yeah,
point.
you got
yeah.
to. It's one of the all-time greats.
And then are we just writing in Hey Jude?
And here we go.
Right?
The Beatles are matching up with each other. She Loves You, number 5 seed, taking on Hey Jude.
Hey Jude.
Hey, Jude.
Hey, Jude.
Hey Jude.
Blows it out. Why?
It's not even close.
Yeah, it's not.
No.
People were asking why She Loves You was still in the tournament. That's what.
Was there some people on the
Yeah,
streets
they
And
were.
it happens.
After the score, how lopsided it was.
after the score?
So now,
Uh-oh.
They felt like
The
they only
Elite-
made it because of bad calls in the game.
the
before.
Elite 8 matchups. We're rolling on, folks. We're going back to 2001, 2015.
We're in this part now.
I know.
And we've got
There you go. That's helping you
the
out.
number 3 seed taking on the
Okay.
number 5 seed.
Oh, boy.
Rolling in the Deep by Adele, taking on Hey Ya by Outkast.
This is
Great
not-
group.
This is not the way I saw this happening.
This is not the way I saw this happening.
Well, for me, it's Hey Ya.
Yeah, well, we know. I mean,
Yeah.
just like mine before.
I have.
I don't
I have
adore-
it.
I don't-
I'm doing Hey Ya as well.
I don't adore Adele.
I don't adore Adele.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
I
a-
like her too, but
It's going to
that's
be
a
a
fun
clean
song to
sweep.
me.
The number 5 Hey Ya.
I got Rolling in the Deep.
Oh, Scott.
But that's just, it's over.
Wait, tweet.
It's
It's over.
rolling over. In the
Rolling over in the deep.
Our first team to make it to the Final Four.
All right.
Outcast.
Hey Ya. Silas.
A 5 seed.
It's Hey Ya.
5
He
seed.
finally ditches Adele. I mean, he's had a long love affair with Adele, and he's moving on from her.
Yeah.
Wow, what a weird thing to say.
What?
Moving
What?
on.
Moving on.
1986.
No.
Good year. It was a good year. Up to 2000.
Oh, yeah.
We have
An okay year.
2000.
It was last good year, some may say.
We have Whitney Houston's "I Want to Dance with Somebody" taking on George Michael's "Faith," the number 6 seed.
Well, since I technically didn't vote for anybody against Faith, it's going to be Faith for me.
Okay.
I put "I Want to Dance with Somebody."
Well, still sticking with it, huh?
I put Faith.
I too am going with Faith.
I guess it would be nice.
What would you have done?
Guess it would be nice.
Close.
I guess it would be
Faith,
nice.
not even close. The 6th seed jumps into the final 4.
Okay.
But I do have to think twice.
We have 1970 to 1985.
Okay. All right.
The Elite 8 matchup with the 1 seed taking on the 10 seed.
An upset we all saw
Careless
coming.
Whisper and When Doves Cry.
This is what it sounds like when the doves cry.
When the Doves Cry.
Yeah. Or
And
the,
them. When them doves
I'm
cry.
going with Doves.
Copyright protection.
Oh, true.
What, Careless Whisper against When Doves Cry?
Yeah.
Oh, When Doves Cry. Are you crazy?
Right? Doves.
Doves.
Going with the Doves.
yeah, that's.
Si.
Doves.
Why would anyone
It's not
choose
a question.
anything
It
else?
can't be. Yeah, that's crazy.
Doves makes it into the final 4, the 10 seed.
In a move that no one saw coming.
Yeah,
Where
right.
Did they?
Well, the only reason it didn't go with mine because it happened to be against another favorite of mine. That was the tough thing. They were both.
Oh.
Every breath you take.
I had to flip a coin and do all this stuff.
I'll be watching you, Scott.
And in our final
I
bracket,
like
the
soccer songs.
1955 to 1969.
Okay,
We have California Dreamin', the 11 seed,
that's a good one.
taking on the 1 seed, Hey Jude.
Listen,
Listen.
we have not advanced to 1 seed yet, and I don't think it needs to start now.
Oh, Caleb's taking a hard stance.
Yeah.
California Dreamin' is a better song. Hey Jude is overrated.
I like them both
I love both
a
songs.
lot, but I'm gonna have to go with Hey Jude.
Hey Jude with me. I don't.
Hey Jude moves on.
You see where?
Where would you have gone?
I'm too attached to Hey Jude.
Are you disappointed?
I am devastated.
Not to
I am devastated. That's where I was here. I was devastated.
All right.
Now,
So
I
we
think I'm,
You
are-
had to see that with the other side of the table. That's what was
We have
gonna
made
happen.
it to our final
I
4.
guess we didn't. Nobody's
A
got
tainted Final
And-
Four, if you ask me.
Everyone,
It's a Final Four.
well, Caleb, since you've got the biggest complaints, why don't you tell us what your final 4
There you
would have
go,
been,
Caleb.
had you been the only one making.
Go for it.
My Final Four would have looked pretty different than what we're dealing with right now. I would have had Happy versus California Dreamin'. And I would have had I Want to Dance with Somebody versus When Doves Cry. So that's the only one that I would have kept in.
All right.
No, okay. Yeah, that ain't bad.
Nope.
Scott, what would you have had?
Well, this is rough. Because I told you about the bracket, I had When Doves Cry, one of my favorites of the whole brackets,
Yeah.
with my Police, which I absolutely love the Police. But I went with the Police.
Okay.
And then I had Faith. That was still.
I knew you had faith, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Caleb. I had Rolling in the Deep
Yeah.
and Hey Jude.
Nice.
And then.
Two
Oh, wait, no, we're not going
of the
with that.
four,
Yeah.
Scott.
We'll come back.
Huh?
Kim, what would you have had?
50%?
I had
Oh, yeah.
Hey Ya, Hey Jude,
Hey,
Faith,
Jude.
and When Doves Cry.
Oh, wow. Is that all of them?
That's what.
That's her final 4. My final 4 would have been Hey Ya versus Hey Jude and Faith versus When Doves Cry.
Oh. So you
Silas,
both
what
are
would you have
tied.
had?
Mine was the same, but there would have been some change-ups leading.
Oh, leading into that.
Yeah.
Do you feel, Scott?
Well, I mean, I would have.
I didn't
too.
do all
would've-
that. I just
Do you
did the
feel
final
like-
four.
like maybe you and I don't have a say in that.
No, how is that? Because
I gotta say all along.
he didn't know what my answers were.
The two that live under the same roof.
I filled mine out days ago. She filled hers out today.
I filled mine out while I was fixing dinner tonight.
It's fallen the way that they wanted it to. I'm just saying something.
Check the machine.
Something's
I think there's
something's fishy. There's tainted. It's tainted.
So in the final four matchups, who would you have had going into the championship game?
What?
Oh, and who would you have picked in the champion to go to the champion?
Yeah. What
I've got
going
straight with the police.
And who would they be going up against?
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude. And then the police win?
Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Caleb?
I had California Dreamin' versus When Doves Cry.
Good one.
California Dreamin'.
Oh,
Wow.
Really? You even went up, but When Doves Cry. Okay.
And Kimberly?
I had Hey Jude going up against When Doves Cry, with Hey Jude winning.
Pay attention, Scott. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What did you have,
I get a
Si?
strong feeling.
I'm looking at it.
I'm looking at it.
I got a sneaking suspicion here, Scott.
Hey Jude against When Doves Cry. Hey Jude.
Oh.
I had Hey Jude going up against When Doves Cry. And Hey Jude.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you say?
So, our final four. And how they got here. Hey Ya
Doesn't even matter what we say.
I guess we're not.
was the number 5 seed.
Oh,
They started off in the first round.
they were number 5. Oh,
They were the 5.
Okay.
They battled. They fought.
Taking on Hanging by a
pretty good.
Moment by
Oh, man.
Lighthouse. They moved on and took down somebody that I used to know.
They took him down. Wrestled him to the ground. I don't even know him anymore.
They edged out Happy. And then
now they're
rolling in the
That
deep.
was a close one.
Now they're in the final four.
Okay.
Taking on
Me.
Hey Jude, who was the number 1 seed in their bracket. They knocked off Wooly Bully
Oh, well.
easily.
A knockoff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wiped out Tossin' and Turnin'.
Oh, yeah. No.
And then they beat out another Beatles song, She Loves You, before finally taking down the Mamas and the Papas and California Dreamin'.
Okay.
Look, you were the only one that went for that. So you can't say that.
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know about that one.
In the 86 bracket, we have Faith, who started off the number 6 seed.
We're the only ones with integrity.
They took on Candle in the Wind, 1997.
97.
Easily.
Oh yeah, good year.
Then
It's good.
they knocked off Bryan Adams. Everything I do,
Yeah,
I
that's-
do it for you.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened.
Ooh, that's a bad.
I can't believe that that it was in there.
Yeah.
Before taking out
Can't believe Bryan
Walk
Adams
Like
on
an
the list.
Egyptian, the 7 seed.
It
And
also shouldn't have
finally,
been there.
they knocked off the number 1, I Want to Dance with Somebody, by Whitney Houston, to move into the final four.
Oh, okay.
This list is.
And
This list is
the 70 to 85 has When Doves Cry, a number 10 seed,
wow.
who overcame a tough first round matchup, Joy to the World.
It's not. That's not tough. That's not tough for that song.
They were a higher seed.
Really? Well,
They knocked off a really big song, the number 2 seed, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh well, that
Move
was
on.
that was pretty.
Then they took down the
I
3
think that
seed,
one's-
Betty Davis Eyes.
If I get that.
That was, to me, in my opinion, that was their strongest matchup to this point.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Even over the number 1 seed, Careless Whisper,
Yep.
to move into the final four. So, we're in the final four.
Why not just say it?
We have Hey Ya taking on Hey Jude.
Oh, we got Hey and
Hey and Hey.
Well, you know where I stand on this, but it doesn't matter.
What are you going with?
Hey, yeah.
Caleb takes a
On principle.
Scott.
Hey Jude.
Oh Lord.
Kimberly.
Hey Jude.
I like that. Oh Lord.
I too take Hey Jude. And Si, you would have taken Hey Jude.
Communism.
On the other side of the bracket,
communism.
we have Faith by George Michael taking on When Doves Cry.
Well, I'm out.
Weird that this is sitting up for that same final that all three of those people have.
Yeah. When
I
Doves
almost
Cry.
When Doves
wonder,
Cry,
Scott,
Scott?
if there's a chance Hey Jude's gonna win it all.
There's a chance.
Tune in next week. Oh no, we're doing it now.
Who do you got, Caleb?
Oh, we're
doing it now?
I guess When Doves Cry. Let's see how this pans out.
Kimberly?
We're all waiting with bated breath.
When Doves Cry.
I too will take When Doves Cry.
I'm aghast.
Silas, who would you have gone with? When Doves Cry. And at last, we have the
boy.
championship matchup.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow, I'll never know who this could possibly be.
Hey Jude, the Beatles song from
Oh, I put hey.
1969.
I wrote it with my heart, not my hand.
That's good.
Taking on Prince's When Doves Cry.
I will vote for the favorite. I'm sure we all are going to go for When Doves Cry. Let's see how this shakes up, though. I could go the other way. Only time will tell.
Scott,
I'll just go ahead and start writing it in.
What?
who you taking?
Doves.
Between Hey Jude and
Just kidding.
When Doves Cry?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jude.
Hey Jude.
Oh,
Now, it was a really tough one for me.
Yeah.
It really, really was because
pander to me.
I love Prince. So,
If
But-
it would have been Purple Rain, it might have been even tougher.
but I think, Hey Jude is a classic. And
this is just like when Duke wins.
so I, too, chose Hey Jude.
Like watching Duke win.
It's watching Duke win.
Or UConn in the women's bracket.
It's like watching Duke win.
I as well am going with Hey Jude.
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
And Silas? Silas also would have taken Hey Jude.
Okay.
Crowned the champion of the 2025
Under
Music
protest.
March Madness. Hey Jude.
Collusion.
Collusion.
I want the committee to look this over.
Well, there you have it, folks. Stick around. We've got more. We're starting a new Bible study tonight. I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
And we've got some
Juggling.
perhaps juggling and baseball stuff.
I've got
human
a
tricks.
I've got a public service announcement real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a public service announcement. We realized that this bracket was a
Tainted.
vote of various people inside this room. I took it upon myself to do my own just experiment. I told Kevin and Kim about this earlier. I'm a geek, of course. You can look at me. Pretty much the geek, overweight, balding, 50s.
Wait, let me say one thing really quick. We're just glad that Kevin ran this instead of Scott because we would have been here a lot longer with
Yes,
this.
good point. So I took my top 20 artists and listed all the songs that I loved, which made 10 out of 10 for each of those artists. I came up with 700 songs. Which is how many more times?
It's a few more than what we did.
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Which I think only of the 20, only one song was represented in this list.
Really?
Everything
Wow.
else, there was nothing else in this list.
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude.
2. Sorry.
What was the other one?
Every breath you take.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, cool.
But I'm just saying this for
700
all you out
songs. I'm
there,
so glad we didn't
like
have to do
Caleb
that.
or others, myself. If you're disappointed, just think of that. Think of all the ones that, you like. Right.
And not, and there's songs on here that I wouldn't choose,
Yeah.
to be on this.
Yeah, that was my own.
Most of them.
Well,
There's a lot.
I won't
We're
get full
gonna-
again.
We're going to do it next year. We're going
that
to do
one?
it differently.
Did I miss
But Scott is not going to do it because I am not going to be on here for 700 songs.
Next year,
can
we
only be
promise we will
64
do
teams.
Scott's 200 from front to back.
Ranking the 200.
Ranking the 200. We're gonna whittle it down. We're gonna have to start at the beginning of the year.
Who was that guy in Congress that just did a 24-hour filibuster?
You should run for office just so you can filibuster with your 200. All right, guys.
Get ready.
It's a scroll.
And you can too. All you got to do is stand up there and talk about anything you want.
That's true.
Did you hear that? We just got explained to what a filibuster was.
Mansplained.
We're all men here except for one of us. Speaking of, it's time to wrap up this segment.
Yeah. Sorry.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. Keep watching. We'll be back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Nice.
We're excited to start a new Bible study, and we're gonna be going through the life of Christ.
Starting with his birth.
Well, we already started with his birth. At Christmas we covered the Nativity, so we're not gonna go back and redo that.
And so,
If you want to go back and see our Christmas show, you can go back and look at that.
big Christmas show.
Our big Christmas show.
Pageant.
And you can get a good feel for the nativity in that. A lot of times when you are reading, if you're an individual who likes to read through the nativity, at Christmas time, you will have read about the birth of the individual we're going to be talking about tonight, and that is John the Baptist, because you cannot start the life of Christ without talking about John the Baptist.
No, because he makes way
That's right.
for Christ.
Very much so. John's birth, you will see it there as you're reading. I think Luke's the one that covers it mostly.
I think so.
But everyone knows of Jesus' miraculous birth and Gabriel coming and talking to Mary. Well, Gabriel comes and talks to his father, Zacharias, who was a priest.
Yep.
And he was ministering at the time. So he was in the Holy of Holies, correct? When Gabriel came to him, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe.
But, I thought so because of the fact that he was in there so long, and I probably should have.
You would have thought you studied.
I have studied, but I didn't bother to reread that part.
Yeah.
He was in there so long that, people started to wonder what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But Gabriel came to him. He was older. His wife Elizabeth was older, and Gabriel tells him, you're gonna have a son.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, kind of taken aback by it because they were old, and because of the fact that he, expressed some unbelief, Gabriel struck him with muteness until after the child was born. So that's kind of the beginning of John, and the whole time, he couldn't talk. He made signs to the people when he came out. Part we're covering tonight, you're going to find in all four Gospels. Matthew chapter 3 verses 1 through 17, Mark chapter 1 verses 2 through 11, Luke 3 verses 1 through 22, and John chapter 1 verses 6 through 34. And I went and used AI.
Alan Emerson?
Yeah. And I had it compress all of accounts from the gospel into one. Then I went back through and added stuff that it had left out that I thought was important to add in. So it's not all AI generated. It's AI assisted. And maybe we should have a topic some night and discuss AI. What our thoughts on it are.
I think he was a great point guard. I think he helped the 76ers a lot.
He did,
but he never could get all the way.
Yeah,
couldn't win that ring.
It happens. But we'll start off in the 15th year of the reign of Tiberius Caesar, when Pontius Pilate was governor of Judea. Herod was tetrarch of Galilee. His brother Philip was tetrarch of the region of well, he was 2 regions, neither one of which is easy to pronounce.
No.
Iturea,
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
and Trachonitis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which sounds like something you need to get a shot for.
Yeah. I think it's not,
And
it's like
Lysanias was tetrarch of Abilene.
which is a song, right?
Oh,
Probably.
yeah. That's right.
And Annas and Caiaphas were the high priest. A man named John emerged from the wilderness. And you will find this in Luke. And what I love about Luke's account of this is that it's a specific time.
Oh, yeah.
We know
Absolutely.
from history when Tiberius Caesar was,
In his 15th year.
he was in his 15th year, so it was about 28 AD when this happened, which is, gives a lot of validity to his account,
Yeah.
which, we all accept the validity of it anyway, so we're not here trying to argue that now, but it just points to it. He was sent from God to bear witness to the light that was coming into the world. And that comes out of John. That was John's whole reason for being, was to point to Christ. Mm-hmm. Moving on. John was clothed in camel's hair with a leather belt around his waist, and his diet was locusts and wild honey. And that's mentioned in both Mark and Matthew.
Bit of an outdoorsman.
A bit of an outdoorsman,
Yeah, a bit.
but also
A bit of an outdoors.
it's pretty cool that how he was dressed is very similar, almost exactly, to an old, as we said, John is the last of the Old Testament prophets, basically.
Yeah.
But he was dressed exactly like another Old Testament prophet, who was
Elijah.
And he came proclaiming, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And that theme is throughout all 4 Gospels.
Right.
You will find that. His message fulfilled Isaiah's prophecy, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, "Prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Every valley shall be filled, every mountain and hill shall be made low. The crooked shall be made straight, the rough places shall become level ways, and all flesh shall see salvation." Those come from Matthew, Mark, and Luke. All those accounts. And we see that he is fulfilling prophecy, just as it said from Isaiah that had been prophesied hundreds of years before this.
Yeah.
He was a herald to the coming of the king. Hark.
Yeah.
And just like if Caesar or any king was making a visit, they would have sent out people before them saying, they're coming, get ready, prepare yourself. And
They would herald.
Yeah.
They were heralded.
But also it says he's making the path straight,
Right.
filling in the rough spots. And if you think about it, if you know, even here in our town, if a great dignitary was coming, you know, and they knew he was visiting, you know, like the president was coming downtown, or the Pope was coming to visit, or you know, King Charles or somebody was coming, they would want to make things tidy. You know, they would want to smooth out the streets.
Yeah.
They want people to know.
And you want people to know that they were coming.
Yeah.
And that's what John was doing.
He was filling potholes and letting people know what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's coming.
He is coming. I mentioned real quick, this is just to kind of reach back to our apologetics.
Yeah.
Again, you see the 4 Gospels here, and you see a consistency in each.
Yeah.
But they're not exact.
No.
It's not like carbon copies, and you just put Matthew, and that's what's... No, they're separate accounts, but it's crazy what the similarities are. And that's another another sign of proving that the Gospels are what they say they are.
Exactly.
Just something to throw out there from our apologetics.
And you know, on that line, you know, one YouTube channel that I like to watch, the guy who does the cold case Christianity. And he's mentioned that before, how
he was like some sort of
he was a detective, homicide detective.
Was he? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And he said that
sounds cool.
if you were to go and interview witnesses and they all gave you the exact same story, then you know something's up, because that's not how it works. If everyone's giving you a similar story, but they all may pick out, you know, different things, then you know that, okay, you can figure out what's truth and, you know, what's not. Because if something happened right here, all 4 of us would, you know, notice different details about things.
Different
and
things
that's
that
how
stand out.
Yeah.
And that's how it works, you know, with anybody. So the fact that the Gospels aren't carbon copies, like you say, actually gives them more validity, you know, when it comes to things like that, because that's how eyewitnesses
work. That's how it works. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm fumbling around. Well, that's the that's what they call that's eyewitness accounts.
Yeah.
I was fishing for the words.
But he's calling them to repent, and you know, that's how he is smoothing out things, because he's not worried about like the infrastructure of the area, what it's like. You know, what he's preparing is the hearts of the people.
He's worried about the spiritual infrastructure.
There you go. Nice.
Very nice,
Caleb.
And you know, if you think back to the book of Exodus, and you know, as we go through this, as we're discussing things, and you know, we don't want to be insulting to anyone who would be listening, but we also want to realize that, you know, we may be talking to people that know nothing of the Bible, or very little, or, you know, younger people that might not know a lot. So we don't want to insult someone's intelligence if they're, you know, like a biblical scholar. No. You know, you might not get a whole lot out of this.
I would imagine biblical scholars probably not.
Probably already tuned out.
Yeah. I'm sure we're not pulling a lot of biblical scholars.
Probably not.
Because we're not pulling a lot of people.
Yeah.
So biblical scholars probably
pretty low on the list.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what we want to reach, though, is, you know, those that don't know, or that maybe know little and are looking to learn.
Yeah.
So going back to Exodus, when God was going to come down on the mountain and speak to the people, he commanded Moses to have the people consecrate themselves, you know. And, you know, if you were going to do that, you would repent of any sin that you had, you know, just naturally. So God is coming in flesh, and he's preparing the people so that, you know, he's not going to be coming to a people that are, you know, obviously they're sinful, but, you know, there's going to be some repentance that took place before he gets there.
Right.
People from Jerusalem, all of Judea, the region around the Jordan, came to him confessing their sins and being baptized by him in the Jordan River. And that comes from Matthew, Mark, and Luke.
Not John.
Yeah, John didn't mention that.
Didn't even,
Exactly.
didn't even talk about it.
His was much more crisper when it came to this. And Matthew, Mark, and Luke are the synoptic gospels, correct?
Sure.
Because of the fact that they're all
Synopsis.
pretty similar.
Oh.
While John's has some
John's
has a little different focus. He likes to talk about the disciple that Jesus loved a lot.
That was my favorite.
We don't know how many people that John the Baptist baptized, but it's safe to say that it was a lot.
Well, you'd think it'd be a lot for it to become something he was known as.
Yeah.
You would think it was like not 3.
Right. I mean, he's
Couple, yeah.
he's not John the wood chopper.
No.
John the Baptist.
Not. I mean, they didn't even call him John the Locust Eater.
No, I mean, you would
that's-
think
yeah,
that would be
that's
something
true.
you might want to lead off with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The camel-haired locust eater guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nope, they called him the Baptist.
So he was doing a lot of that.
He was.
Do you think he baptized more people than locusts he ate?
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Tough call.
I mean, and when you think about that, later on we're gonna see
When you think about something, how many people
About-
he baptized?
about him eating locusts,
Oh, okay.
living in the wilderness,
Yeah.
being dressed like that.
Yeah.
Much later down the line, we're gonna see where Jesus says that of those born of women, John was the greatest.
Yeah.
And when you think about that, and the fact that Jesus is calling him the greatest, and the life that he led wasn't what you would think the greatest person would live. You would think the greatest person might live a life of luxury.
You'd think more like King Solomon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
King Solomon.
have all kinds of niceties and everything. And here this man lived in the wilderness, dressed, I can't imagine that camel hair would be very comfortable to be dressed in.
Right.
And
I'm sure.
eating locusts,
I'm sure it wasn't all the rage either.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It's all the rage.
Well, this comes back to what I had been saying the other day.
Right.
That the prophets had to be perceptively a bit off to society
Oh, okay.
because their focus isn't what our focus is. Their
Right.
focus is
Entirely.
entirely on God.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we shouldn't desire that, but I mean we obviously should, but we're not there.
No.
And
And I
so
And I think,
You wear camel's
along
hair.
that line, I think God calls people, obviously, to be that, to be the prophets, to be that kind of person. Whereas, I don't feel like he wants that out of all of us.
he doesn't want you to wear camel's hair.
I don't think so. I
Well,
feel
there's
like he
only
does.
one John the Baptist.
Right.
It's fair.
There's no,
Right.
multiple.
Definitely.
No, it's not prescriptive.
And that's the greatest of men born from a woman.
Yeah.
Born of a woman. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Pretty high standard.
high standards there.
We're not telling you to go get a camel hair suit
No, please
No,
don't.
or a mohair suit.
But if you do,
Mohair, yeah.
if you do,
read it in a magazine.
take a picture and send it in to us.
Take-
Moving along.
Sorry.
When John saw many Pharisees and Sadducees coming for baptism, he rebuked them, saying, "You brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bear fruit in keeping with repentance, and do not presume to say, 'We have Abraham as our father,' for I tell you, God is able from these stones to raise up children for Abraham. Even now the axe is laid to the root of the trees. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. And you'll find this in Matthew and Luke. And I think it's kind of important that we pause here and explain who the Pharisees and Sadducees were, just because, as I said earlier, of what our target audience is, so that they will have an idea. Because you're going to see these two sects, SECT, of people coming up frequently,
Right.
through the Gospels.
The religious leaders.
They are.
Yeah. But the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection.
Correct.
And that's why they are sad, you see.
Sad, you see.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Very good.
It's really cheesy.
But that's
it does help me
the
remember.
best way to
Helps you
remember. And the Pharisees were very strict. They believed in an observance of the traditions, the written law,
Exact law, yeah.
and they believed in, like I said, Moses and the prophets. The Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Bible, and everything the prophets wrote. They also, but they pretty much believed the whole Bible they had at the time,
And some other stuff.
and some added on stuff that they
More even
they tacked
stricter.
on. Yeah. While the Sadducees only believed in the books of Moses. And like Caleb said, they didn't believe in the resurrection. They didn't believe in supernatural things. They didn't believe in angels. And they didn't believe in miracles and things like
I didn't
that.
believe there were angels among us,
Apparently not.
sent down to us from somewhere up above.
Nope.
But they come to you and me in our darkest
I
hour.
know. But not to the Sadducees.
Wow. No wonder they were sad.
They were sad.
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of see.
They were sensationalist.
Yeah.
before sensation. They were sensationalist before it was cool.
Right. But I mean, you see people like that even now that don't,
Yeah.
they believe that there is a God and he doesn't do any, miracles. He's not a personal God.
Yeah. They didn't think that the gifts had ended. They thought the gifts never started.
That's right.
Never
But
started.
amazingly, though, they believe the first 5 books of the Bible. There are plenty of miracles.
I was just going to say that. There's some
All kinds of
miraculous
miracles.
things.
They said after this, though, no
more.
He calmed down with it.
That's it.
So they were sensationalists. They were like, after the books of Moses, that's when God stopped doing miracles.
That sounds about right as far as what they believe.
Yeah.
Huh.
There were angels in that too. They just think angels kind of stopped. They're like,
Apparently.
there, they just go back to heaven now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's time to go. Yeah.
Yeah. We've done everything we got to do here.
I think we're done here. Yeah. I think we wrapped it up. We'll calm down.
Right. As John preached to the people, he told them that I baptize you with water for repentance, but he who is coming after me is mightier than I, whose sandals I am not worthy to carry. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. And that is in all 4 Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
I got Matthew right here, and that's what it says.
Yeah. Almost word for word. He went on, his winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will clear his threshing floor and gather his wheat into the barn, but the chaff he will burn with an unquenchable fire. That part is in Matthew and Luke. And like we said, it's important you realize that John was a prophet. And so this part, this whole part we just read, though,
Was
is prophecy.
Imagine that.
And
a prophet prophesying.
He's prophesying, Jesus coming, and that part is going to happen, real
right now.
soon, right now. The next part is a future prophecy that hasn't even taken place yet, and you will see that Jesus is going to have very similar prophecies that he will speak of during his ministry. When questioned by the people whether he was the Christ, he admitted he was not, nor was he Elijah, nor the prophet. And that part is in both Luke and John. And obviously, he was not Christ. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know that very well. He was not Elijah in the fact that he was a reincarnation of Elijah.
Right.
Because that's what they were looking for, and that's what they were saying, and that's what he was telling them. And the prophet is who was prophesied by Moses, telling the people that there will come a prophet like me that will be raised up and do much of what Moses did. But
that's also Jesus.
But that's Jesus. So that takes us up to Jesus' baptism. I was just wondering if we should maybe cut off and start up with that next time.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think that's a pretty good, background to everything leading up to that. And there's a lot of depth in the
water.
The water. It's deep enough to be baptized in.
Yeah, in the water.
Fully submerged.
Yeah.
Fully submerged.
Yeah. Definitely. So we've got more coming up after this.
Yeah.
All right, catch us on the back end. Welcome back. Before we get into the other stuff, we're gonna get into some Scott's news.
And before we do that,
oh man, stepped on my. That was so good.
I'm sorry.
You just stepped all over it. Be sure to X and Facebook and like comment,
and subscribe,
tell a friend, phone a friend.
Hit the bell.
Tickle a stranger. Don't do that one. Don't do that one.
Leave us a comment. Tell us where you're listening to us from.
Right.
Yeah. Where you listening to us from, Grandma? I mean, everybody.
Everybody.
Grandma's listening from the VMS.
From the VMS. That's right.
Oh yeah.
She is.
She's probably listening from work. Is work in the VMS? Let's think about this long and hard and not just go right into Scott's news.
Hey, thank you, Caleb. We're here to talk about famous births and famous deaths, or not so famous, depending on where I scroll. So let's get started.
All right.
Scott, your segment is my favorite.
Your segment. Well, I'm glad you appreciate it, Caleb.
It brings me the most joy.
How about we will start off with a relatively famous person.
Einstein.
He's related to someone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of the bald ones.
He's one of the bald ones. Yeah. How about Sir Alec Guinness?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away today.
Of world record in booze fame.
Oh, yeah, that, I don't know if that's the same fella.
Oh.
This guy was, this is the guy that did the Ben Obi-Wan.
Oh, okay,
Kenobi
yeah.
in the Star Wars.
Of course I know him. He's me.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he.
Boy, he got bigger there. Don't know what's going on, people.
I think it jumped to a page just for him.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Of course I know him.
Let's go back and let's go talk about some others today. These are all
Smothers Brothers?
Smothers Brothers. People who will pass, then we'll get on to those who had their birthday.
Sure.
Serge Gainsbourg, who is a French singer-songwriter.
Right. I would have never guessed it with that name. Serge Gainsbourg, if I'm not, he started the synth pop movement.
Close.
Oh.
He was been there.
Oh yeah, he was involved. He did not do synth pop.
No, I don't think he did do some French material.
Yeah, mostly kissing.
You're right.
I guess every kiss he did was French. He Frenched his mom.
Oh. Where do we go there?
Oh man.
Well, if he would have,
That's pretty harsh.
he's French, so every kiss he had would have been French.
I see. Yeah.
So it's therefore
he would,
French his mom.
I gotcha. That's still kind of weird.
Well, it's the French, you know how they are.
Requiem pour un twister.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah, Dream of a Twister.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Je t'aime moi non plus.
Oh, well, that one's a little risky.
I don't know. But we'll go with
You
that.
took French. What's that mean?
I don't. Well, not French.
Not that kind of French. It's a different dialect.
I think it's "I love you, nor do I" or something like
Yes.
that.
One of my favorites.
Okay. Here's another. We're gonna give you one more.
All right.
We're gonna hit. This is gonna be a big one. It's Mike Halewood,
Oh, Mike Halewood.
British motorcycle road racer,
Yeah.
world championships in 250. Does that say BC? No,
That can't be right. CC.
CC.
That means something in racing.
Wonder if he was
Closed
there when
it's
the-
closed caption.
Closed caption.
I wonder if he
won a
was
lot
there
of
when
closed
the-
captions.
I wonder if he was there when that crossing guard got killed in that wreck.
He could have been.
Yeah.
And, he died because he started doing non-road races. That's how it. Because he did dirt one time, and it's not. It turns out dirt is not the same as road.
Should have changed tires first.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
So it says, is this right? 76 Grand Prix wins.
That was a record.
That was a record. Yeah.
That's his record.
It's his record for sure. He never did break it.
Oh no!
Couldn't break his record of 76.
Can you believe
He did
that?
break his previous record of 75 though.
And his sternum. Probably he drove bike. He drove bikes. I'm sure he broke something.
Oh, he had to have.
Yeah.
Just goes with the territory.
Probably broke a land speed record at some point, maybe. Probably not. I don't know who this. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think I know him.
That seems kind of hard to believe.
Okay, how about some people who
And this is Burst, right? This one.
who were born today?
Yeah.
Born today.
All right. Well, let me do the correction. The people that were supposedly born today
Or did the previous
that were dead. The last list were actually born.
Oh, what? It's even more of a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So Alex Guinness was born on this
Alec,
day.
yeah,
Born this
Alec
day.
Guinness.
What day is it?
Serge Gainsbourg.
April
And
2nd.
April 2nd.
We're
The
recording
year of our
this.
Lord.
yeah.
The day out. What's the opposite of Eve? April Fool's post? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Post April Fool's. Just post. Haste. Post haste. No.
Let's get to those
Ex post facto.
who passed
Yes.
today.
All right.
How about that? All right, let's try
Let's
that.
get to the list of these April Fools. Oh.
All right,
Ooh.
here we are.
Tough crowd.
How about Johann J. Delineus, a German botanist?
Ooh. Yeah. Probably did some Third Reich stuff.
Oh no! he died in 1747.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably not
Probably
Third Reich
second,
stuff. Yeah. Probably first, right?
Maybe first.
I'm not sure I know what a Reich is.
Hey, here's one.
Yeah?
It's Samuel Morse, American painter and inventor of the electric telegraph and Morse code.
Morse code.
Oh, Oh, hey.
He must have won a lot of awards for that.
That is, wow, that's a lot of awards.
Yeah.
There's like at least 6.
You have to send.
We'll put the
send out a
graphic up
picture.
of Mr. Morse.
No.
Yeah, we got to. He's got a picture. He's got a
I got
medal.
a picture.
He's got all kinds of medals. People
Here,
need to see
here.
this.
Beep, 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 beep. That was me sending you a Morse code of the picture.
Let's give you 2 more, shall we?
Okay.
This one you're going to love.
I was almost over.
Because you were right. German. You said here's one.
Ich bin ein.
Friedrich von Bogelschwinge.
Ooh.
I think I butchered that all 9 ways to Sunday, but German theologian
Oh.
Oh.
founded institutions including a bank to help the poor.
Okay.
A bank to help the poor.
Yeah,
To help
poor
the
bank.
poor. Poor bank. He passed in 1910.
Ah,
And then-
gone too soon.
He was, yeah. And then
I think I pronounced that right.
it's close.
Yeah.
I think you did it better than I did, Caleb. How about this guy? And we'll end up with this. 2009, he passed away. Clifford Bud Shank. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
Shank.
Oh.
American jazz saxophonist and flute
yeah.
player.
Little known fact, he's the one
Bud
that
Shank.
he played the saxophone on Careless Whisper.
Did he?
Probably.
Well, he could have, because
Yeah,
it's
he could have been,
2009
yeah.
when he passed. He
Yeah.
could have been.
He would have been alive, probably.
Oh,
Assuming
yeah.
he was born before Careless Whisper. It could have been him.
I tell you what, now, I'll get you the answer next podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see if Clifford Bud Shank played sax on Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
And I think we'd be amiss if we didn't mention that just yesterday, Val Kilmer passed away.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
Val Kilmer did
Yeah.
pass away.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Your favorite Batman?
He was Batman. Mm-hmm. My favorite Iceman. How's that?
The Iceman, yeah.
And definitely favorite Doc Holliday.
Yeah,
Yeah, great Doc Holliday.
yeah, he was great.
I'm your Huckleberry. Today we're talking baseball, guys.
We're talking baseball.
Again,
Uh-oh, here
because
we
people
are.
love it.
Old hardball.
The old
We're
one.
going to talk about. We're starting off talking about some unwritten rules of baseball.
Ooh, and you've written them down.
I've written.
Wow, that might somebody in this group might not quite get what that means.
He's written them down. The unwritten
Here I
rules.
have a handwritten list of
didn't-
unwritten rules. They weren't
didn't-
written until now.
I did just kind of like a shorthand version because
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah,
so I could remember.
sure.
The first one is kind of gone by the wayside. Don't celebrate too much or stare too long at a home run. And that's kind of gone out the window.
Yeah, they really go hard nowadays.
Yeah, they
flipping bats,
Flipping the bat,
throwing bats,
Yeah.
yep, spiking the bat,
Yeah.
staring
staring so long.
so long. and they pretty much get away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Every once in a while,
yeah,
someone will rub somebody
Guys
the
have-
wrong way.
guys have always done it, but not to
Not
this.
to the degree that
Yeah,
they do
not to
today.
the. Yeah.
No.
Definitely not.
My favorites
But, I
were
mean-
back in the day when guys would swing, and then in their backswing, when they knew they got the home run, they just let it sit down.
yeah,
Those are always my. I still think that's better than a bat flip because it's just like I knew this was gone before I finished my swing.
That is true. I do like that.
Yeah,
I like
this was out the whole time.
Yep.
Good point, Caleb. That's awesome.
It was always going out.
I like it.
Well, moving along.
Moving right along.
Don't stay in the dugout or sit in the bullpen if there is a brawl. You got to get out there.
Get out there and hit somebody.
You don't have to hit
yeah.
somebody, but you can't stay on the bench. You
don't
got
have to
get
go
out.
home, but you can't stay.
right.
Here.
You got to go out and at least act like you're mad when you're running on the
Come out
field.
swinging.
I wish they'd let us see baseball fights.
They're the best.
They are the
Yeah.
best.
When they empty out the benches, that's awesome.
It's a good time, and sometimes people need to fight.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you're in the stands,
Let them
say.
fight. Oh,
I have
Oh,
seen
is that not right?
I've seen some fights in stands, but when you're in this, when you're at the game and there's a fight, it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so awesome.
yeah.
Nothing like it.
It's great.
It is.
Well, it's like, it's kind of like hockey.
Right.
They go check somebody. They start swinging.
Yep.
That's the same thing.
Right.
Right. It's what you expect to see.
Give them a look, and the one guy looks at him.
Like it's on now. Somebody throws at somebody.
The one Reds pitcher that charged the
Paul Wilson. I think we've already talked about that on here.
He charged Pittsburgh's dugout.
He
When he's getting taken out of the game. Amir Garrett.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He got taken out of the game.
So he's like, let's fight.
And he's standing up there, and all of a sudden he just takes off.
Ready? Because they've been all season long. They had been back and forth.
Oh,
He's like, now it's time.
It's time.
And we're taking care of this now.
It's time. That's great.
The Reds and the Pirates have had some great fights throughout.
Yeah.
They've had they've had their
a lot
histories.
I mean, there was one year where they were just beating people left and right. And Silas and I and Kim went to a game, the only game I've ever gone to in Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Reds were playing the Pirates, and the beanballs started, and we thought for sure there was going to be a fight. Yeah, and here we were, all in our Reds gear and stuff, and thought, this is not going to be good. There wasn't any fights, but there was a lot.
Well, let's be honest,
of guys getting hit.
Pittsburgh baseball fans. There's not a lot of them.
There was a lot.
It was a pretty good. Well, they haven't had much to cheer about for quite a while, even longer than
ever since Clemente retired.
Wait a minute, that's
not that far off back, but
you're right.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
ABBA was making hits when they.
ABBA was making hits.
Yeesh.
ABBA.
Don't walk in front of the catcher or the umpire when you're walking into the batter's box. That's led to a few fights too.
Yeah.
It's just a respect thing.
Yeah, it's a respect. Yeah.
And when we played, it was like you weren't even told that. You just automatically
it was like you
did it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember ever teaching any of my players to do that. But it just seemed like that's what everyone just automatically did. You walk behind.
Yeah, you walk behind.
Yeah.
You never walk in front. So, I don't know if it's an unwritten rule, but it should be. I always told my players, don't walk in between the pitcher and catcher when you're going onto the field.
I think that's just common sense, but I'll tell you, some kids lack it.
Some kids lack it. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, walking onto the field where they got the pitcher work.
Don't show up a teammate for making an error.
No.
Oh, no.
And that's a big one. And pitchers do that every once in a while. And
some pitchers start reacting a little bit. No good.
That's led to some brawls in the dugout. Yeah. Don't steal in a blowout. Either way. If you're way up, if you're way behind, it's a blowout.
Yeah.
Just
let it happen.
Take your lumps, go station to station. If it's pass ball, you can go, but don't be stealing.
That reminds me of the team that we played. I think it was when Kevin was coaching. It was an inner city team, and I think that's how they actually won and beat the pants off us, because they actually stole all their runs, essentially. I remember that.
Yeah.
They were just sending them like crazy.
And they never let up.
No, they didn't. They never did.
Yeah.
It was kind of bad.
Yeah.
It was poor sports.
We would always steal until we got the run roll, and then we'd stop.
And then you'd stop. Yeah, well, they kept going.
Yeah, they didn't let up.
Yeah, well, that's in poor taste.
Yeah. And I mean, at some point, it's on you to stop it if you're on the other team, but our kids could not.
No.
So it wasn't going to happen. This one, everybody knows. Don't talk to a pitcher during a no-hitter. Perfect game.
Well, and don't bring up a no-hitter.
Don't bring it up.
Yeah.
And that's one of my least favorite things about, is it ESPN?
Oh. When they'll break in.
They will send notifications.
We're in the bottom of the third and we got a no-hitter going.
They'll send you notifications like no-hitter alert, and I'm like, you guys are a sports network.
Yeah.
This is what you've been doing.
Yeah.
You know that you're not. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And they do it too early though.
Yeah.
Not third
Bottom
inning.
of the third.
No,
But
I don't even know if they necessarily do it too early, but it's like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Quit
it.
Just let it happen, then be like, tell me after it happened. Hey, you missed a no hitter, dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't say, hey, you're missing a no hitter.
Yeah.
And then you turn it on, and guess what? They don't get the no hitter because ESPN blew it up.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Or when the
what
announcers
happens.
start talking about it too early during the game.
Yeah.
That's always.
Announcers' curses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And while we're talking about no hitters, what's another thing you shouldn't do?
Don't bunt to break up a no hitter.
Want to break up a no hitter.
That's gross
Yeah.
and dirty, and it'll probably get you thrown at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should. Get
I
thrown
would say if it's a 1-run game or it's a tied game 0-0, everyone's still in it.
Yeah.
Game or whatever. That might be the only way that it would be okay.
Like if you're going for the win.
Like if it's a World Series, maybe.
Maybe World Series, late season, playoff run.
Yeah.
Both teams.
I might be able to see that. Yeah.
That might be the only way.
If that's the winning. I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're down, 4 runs or whatever, you're laying down a bunt. That's just you're asking to get beamed next time up.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was ever lucky enough to play for the Reds and I played any of the teams in the division, and they were throwing a no hitter, I would slap down the bunt so fast because I hate all those teams. I would bunt so quick.
Yeah.
You're not getting a no hitter today, guys. I do it first inning.
First inning.
I mean at that point it's just very good.
Yeah. No, I do it when it mattered.
I would say
Bottom of the ninth.
At what point of the game? At what point in the game would you say, okay, at this point you should not lay down a bunt?
7.
Seventh on.
Oh, if they're going a no.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
At least I think if you got at least an out or so in the 7th, you'd probably be like, guys.
But I mean,
that's about.
if the 8 hitters up in the 6th inning and he's dropping a bunt,
you definitely don't want to do it in 8 or 9.
no, definitely not.
Yeah. But I think 7, you start thinking about it.
Yeah. Don't step on the mound unless you're the pitcher.
Oh yeah, I was always afraid to.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like sacred ground that
Yeah.
you shouldn't be walking.
Yeah.
There was a big thing when A-Rod did it. He had gone from first to third, and the ball ended up being foul, and so he had to go back, and he went across the mound, and the pitcher was yelling at him. And
Really?
I think he got thrown out next time up.
Oh, wow.
Which, he was a jerk.
Okay.
My opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Everybody has their own opinion.
I never liked him. Don't show up the ump.
I did that all the time.
It's okay to argue with them or whatever, but they said that what a lot of big league players will do is, they don't like the call. They're up to bat. If they think he makes a bad call, they will say all kinds of stuff, but they're not turning around looking at him.
Oh.
Same thing with the catcher. He doesn't like the call. He may be saying all kinds of stuff, but he's not looking at him while he's saying it.
Yeah.
And they let him get away with that.
That's funny.
When they start looking at him, that's when it gets ugly.
One of my favorite things to do, and I didn't play after my freshman year, so I never played at any real high level, but is when I was catching, and I disagreed with the call, I would hold it a little bit longer.
Yeah, hold it.
Yeah. Sometimes I would stand up and keep my hand in the spot and then take it into it.
Nice.
I think
Now
that
that's
might
a
be
classy
borderline
way.
showing them up.
Yeah, and I was trying to show them up.
Yeah, that's
So they're
class.
like, we are here. We're here.
Yeah, we're right.
See how I didn't move my glove?
Yeah,
Do you guys have any legitimate unwritten rules that you haven't written down?
Yeah, well, don't step on the foul line.
When you're going on the field?
Yeah, never did. Never have.
Yeah,
Step on the foul line.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a big one. I try to enforce that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And I would always have with my team, tell them that the only person who's allowed to walk onto a baseball field is the coaches and the umpires. If you're a player, you better run onto the field.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point.
Oh, and there's no crying in baseball.
No crying in baseball.
Yeah,
Or
I like
skipping.
Or skipping.
No skipping in baseball. Any others that you can think of?
No, I would just reemphasize too the throwing of the bats and no. I think that's poor.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, tossing it or laying it down, fine, but throwing them, especially in anger,
Yeah.
I think is poor.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
definitely
come on.
no.
That's not really. You've already kind of gone over that one. I mean, the home run.
What else you got there?
Got some odd rules in
Oh,
baseball.
some odd
Oh, yeah.
ones. All right.
If a ball hits the ump, what is it? What's
Oh, if it hits the ump
Yep.
from the batter,
Dead from a pitch
Yeah.
ball or a hit ball?
a hit ball?
hit ball. Okay.
It's in play, right?
Hit ball hits the ump.
It's in play.
It's
Foul.
in play if it has already passed the fielder. If it hasn't passed the fielder yet, it's a dead ball.
Okay.
Runner
Does the
gets
pitcher
first
count
base.
as a fielder?
No.
No, not generally.
Okay. I guess I didn't know that.
Yeah. But if it hits him and it's passed, it's a live ball. And there's been a lot of instances where, hard hit ball down the line,
Yeah.
hits the ump. It's going to be, extra bases, hits the ump, and they only get a single out of it.
That's
Or
unfortunate.
there's been some that ended up getting out because, came back to the guy and he was able to beat him to the bag like first base.
Man.
That would
Oh,
be,
I thought you were talking about the ball hitting the bat and hitting the back umpire.
oh no.
You're talking about first base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that are in the field of
Yeah.
play.
Gotcha.
Is there ever a ground rule? Oh no, this isn't right.
No, there's not.
There's not. Caleb, there's not. There's not a ground rule.
If a fielder uses any part of their equipment to catch the ball other than their glove,
You can't. You can't do that. It's illegal.
right, it's illegal. What's the outcome?
Public stoning.
Public stoning.
The runners are awarded 3 bases.
Oh,
Three
bases?
3 bases.
So if you,
Wow.
if you popped your, because the hat's the common one.
Yeah, the hat.
Yeah,
You
or
popped
the
your cap.
catcher's mask.
Oh yeah. You can't
There
do
was
that.
a case where the Dodgers won a game
Oh,
because the catcher
because he scooped to bring it
up
back with him,
with
right?
his glove. Tommy
to
Lasorda.
throw it back to the pitcher.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
No.
in play.
No,
oh my gosh. Really?
Tommy Lasorda knew the rule, and he goes out. The ump didn't even know it. They had to look it up in the book. They realized that he's right. The winning run comes in.
Oh, God.
I don't like Tommy Lasorda.
Oh, that's rough, though.
I know.
That's a rough implementation.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
So, 3 bases.
3 bases.
Gosh.
that's crazy.
I did not
that's a
know
killer.
that. Do you know it, producer?
No.
That's crazy.
We're gonna go back now to some of the original rules of baseball
Okay.
when baseball first began.
Okay.
The Knickerbocker rules of baseball.
Oh.
The pitcher threw underhanded.
Oh.
And when the batter came into the batter's box, he would tell them whether he wanted it a high strike or a low strike.
I didn't know that.
Really? I didn't know.
And so low was, below the waist, high is above the waist.
He told them.
He told them where he wanted them to throw.
That's wild.
Yeah. And the umps back then they didn't have set umps. They would, people would come out to the ball game. They would pick guys.
Who's the most trustworthy?
They would pick guys from.
You
the
seem
stands.
like an honest gentleman.
Yeah, there it is.
And these guys got a seat to sit back behind home plate, and that's where they umped from.
Just a chair?
Kind of like the wiffle ball games we have here when your grandpa's umping.
Probably the same level.
So you got a guy just sitting back there.
Making questionable
And
calls.
you're gonna love this.
Questionable
Yeah.
calls.
If for some reason the ump didn't see the play, They could ask someone in the crowd.
They could phone a friend. What do you think happened here?
What happened?
What happened?
I was at a scrimmage the other day, and our team, we were in the field.
That's hilarious.
And the umpire knew it was a scrimmage. Ball gets hit down the left field line, goes foul, and the ump's like, fair ball. And our coach comes out of the dugout and he said, that was 10 feet foul. And the ump said, I'm sorry, foul ball. And I was like, I've never seen that in my entire life.
He changed his mind.
He's like, okay, I didn't see it, foul ball. I was like, bro, this guy, it takes no convincing. He said, it's the first ever challenge won in a high school baseball game.
Right.
And all right, you're right, foul ball.
That's bad on two levels because the ump is only supposed to say foul ball.
Oh.
If it's fair, they're just supposed to point. They're not supposed to say fair ball.
Okay.
I argued with an ump about that one time because he yelled fair ball and like the kids stopped because they're used to hearing foul ball.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
like you don't yell fair ball.
You just
yell
point.
foul ball. You point. That's all you do. You point if it's fair.
Okay.
It's egregious.
Egregious. That's egregious.
The first stolen base that was ever recorded was just taking
Actually
advantage.
stolen.
Was just taking advantage of a loophole. There was no rule against it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So no one had ever done it before.
So he kind of looks around and he's like, I think
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go.
he just looks over at the guys on the bench and he's like, I can see it now. He's just kind of, he shuffles. Looks around. Nobody's doing anything. He shuffles a little bit more. Then he just goes. And everybody's looking around like, can he do that?
Like that's what I reminded.
Can he do that?
Sound like it reminded me of like a Monty Python.
Yeah.
Well, not unlike the whole pitching thing. Can you imagine the first pitcher who was like, the batter tells him where to put it, and he's like, no.
No.
He just throws it in there really hard, and the batter's like,
What are you doing?
did he throw it all the way up there?
It's almost like
That's
you
not
don't
even
want
where I
to hit
said
the
to
ball.
throw it.
You don't really get the ball.
My God. He's hurled the ball as hard as he could.
I love it.
Yeah. But I mean, can you imagine the guy stealing the base when they're basically just throwing slow pitch softball?
Yeah.
And here he is.
Yeah, he's just staring
He's
around.
Everybody's looking over at him because he kind of got a weird grin on his face.
There's one buddy, he's like, he told him before that he's going to do it. And he's just sitting there
He just
dying
says one of these,
laughing.
Watch this.
Watch this.
You never believe what I found out.
Watch what Watson does.
It was
Watson. Yeah.
I imagine it was the most unorthodox lead you've ever seen. He kind of just quick shuffles over a little bit more.
He's got his monocle on. He puts it's falling down. Iron. He does. It's looking at.
I do think that pitch is not thrown yet.
How can I just see Monty Python. I don't know. Let's see one of the guys taking off.
That would be a great
Just head back.
Yeah, that's the head back.
And last, Scott has this.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I beat the drum and hold the phone. The sun came out today. We're born again. There's new grass on the field. Around in third and headed for home. It's a brown-eyed, handsome man. Anyone can understand the way I feel. Oh, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today.
Good night.
The Whatchagonnawannado podcast is brought to you by Scott Dog Productions and is made possible by viewers like you.